it's Galfi Galfette.
Today, I'm going to tell you about keyboard shortcuts, called key commands, in Cubase. They can help you speed up your workflow. I'll show you where to find shortcuts, how to create new ones, and the shortcuts I find most useful, the ones I use daily in my own projects. Of course, the combinations I'll show you should be adapted to suit your keyboard. I'm on a desktop PC, and my keyboard is a standard QWERTY. If you're on a Mac, you'll need to replace Control with Command, for example. You can access the shortcut panel in Edit, Key Commands. You'll see that key commands are divided into groups. By default, these groups are open, but you can close or open them to see the details of the commands. You can search for a specific command in the search engine to check whether a shortcut already exists. For example, I search for Open Audio Track. No key command is assigned to it, as it doesn't appear in the list. So I can create one. I go to Unassigned, and you see that in the Add Track group, I have Audio. I click here to create a command. I press Ctrl+Alt+A. I can also delete this command, reset it, or enter a second shortcut. If I try to add Ctrl+Shift+A as an alternative key command, I get an alert that this key command already exists and is used for the Edit Select None function. I can cancel or assign this command. I choose to cancel it, since I don't really need a second command to open an audio track. If I click on Customized, you'll see the list of commands I've created, and Open Audio Track is there. You can also choose a preset. Go back to the default commands, or clear all. You'll also see a macro section further down. I'll tell you more about it in a future video. The commands I use the most are quite numerous. Of course, like a lot of people, I use Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V a lot to copy and paste events. I also use Ctrl+C to undo the previous action or Ctrl+Shift+C to redo the action. I also often use Shift+Alt+C to open the color palette and quickly recolor one or more tracks. I also talked about this in the video on colors in Cubase. The key command I use the most is probably F3, which opens the console in an independent window rather than the bottom one. Another very useful one is the one that calls up the connections window, F4. Finally, a very useful shortcut is P. When you select an event and press P, you'll see that the locators have defined a zone corresponding to the length of the event. Locators are those little triangles on the ruler. They're used for many things, but also to define a loop. The key command P also works when you select several events to define a zone within your project, for example.
If you have questions or suggestions, feel free to let me know in the comments. I'll see you soon for new tutorials.